send them prayers up, and then the blessings come down. Yeah. Let's get it. I pray material things never blind me. I pray all this fake love will never find me. I pray I don't have fear for any other man. What I pray for the most is that you understand. I pray material things never blind me. I pray all this fake love will never find me. I pray I don't have fear for any other man. And what I pray for the most is that you understand. If you say you're a king, you gotta have the standards. I say that I pray when I don't have the answers. Don't know the way, then prayer has to come in. It's okay to pray and don't ask for nothing. Ready for war, but I pray for peace. Know the book says, don't let your prayers cease. Pray for the strength to pray for enemies. Pray to forget these childhood memories. Put on these size 11s, it's the wrong shoes any day. Cowboys team, man, you're gonna lose anyway. Don't come for me, sorry, I don't got a team. Can't be MLK if I never said I got a dream. I pray to Yahweh that he bless you. I pray that you pass, cause life will test you. I pray on the days that things are stressful. Remember, Israel to God is something special. I pray material things never blind me. I pray all this fake love will never find me. I pray I don't have fear for any other man. What I pray for the most is that you understand. I pray material things never blind me. I pray all this fake love will never find me. I pray I don't have fear for any other man. And what I pray for the most is that you understand. Yahweh Shah came so he could feed his people. Solomon prayed that he could lead his people. Wise as he was, he didn't see the evil. I pray for the day Yahweh frees the people. Babylon the Great breaking all walls down. Kanye's song, when it all falls down. I pray every day, that's a part of me, that we all celebrate like classic R&B. Cool in this gang, there's so many speakers. I pray that you learn, we have so many teachers. I pray for the kingdom, cause it needs to come. I pray for Isaiah 14:1. Always be thankful, what my lady said. Don't ask for much, just my daily bread. I pray on the days that things are stressful. Remember, Israel to God is something special. I pray material things never blind me. I pray all this fake love will never find me. I pray I don't have fear for any other man. What I pray for the most is that you understand. I pray material things never blind me. I pray all this fake love will never find me. I pray I don't have fear for any other man. And what I pray for the most is that you understand. We send the prayers up, and then the blessings come down. Prayer is your weapon, y'all. Make sure you pray every single day. Don't just ask for things, but pray to the Most High to deliver us.
Abanawa, Shabashamayim, Kwadash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwatha, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazar, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Lathananawa, Lacham, Kal, Yawam, Wasalachnawa, Chaubwathnawa, Kasalachnawa, Chaubwathyanawa, Wala'a, Tabia Anawa, Manasaya 1, Abal, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Wa'atapa Arath, La'ai Walamyam, Aman. Ya Baraka, Ya Baraka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Waya Shamaka, Waya Shamaka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Ya Yahweh, Ya Yahweh, Panyawa Al Yak, Panyawa Al Yak, Waya Khanka, Waya Khanka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yasha Yahweh, Yasha Yahweh. Panyawa al yak, Panyawa al yaka, Wayasham, Wayasham, Laka Shalom, Laka Shalom, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Shah, Barak Rapah, Barak Rapah, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, Barak Rapah, Barak Rapah, Yasha Allah, Yasha Allah.
Shalom, man. All praises to the Most High. All praises, man. Finally back. It's been a couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? We just come fresh off of FOT, Feast of Tabernacles. Had a beautiful week with the body. I pray and hope those that have or maybe even have not celebrated Tabernacles, hope it was a blessed Tabernacles. I know for us, man, it definitely was a very, very, very humbling experience. And we'll be here all night if we talk about all, everything that had happened. But just want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh by way of Yahweh Shai. Got anything you want to add before we go ahead and start?
Yeah, Shalom. All praise to the Most High. Happy Sabbath to everybody. Definitely, again, repeating what the brother said, hoping everybody had a good tabs. The tabs was on point. Hey, it's something I would never forget. I'm not going to make it long. I'm just definitely going to say in the midst of the tabs, the Most High definitely on a Friday, on a Sabbath, when we were bringing out a lesson for the congregation, we did see a chariot. All praise to the Most High right above our heads. So, hey, that's one of the memorial things I never forget. You know what I'm saying? So, again, man, happy Shabbat. And I'm trying to get myself back in the groove of everything because definitely high off the tabs. But then coming back to the back into Egypt again, it was just like, oh man, I'm in slow pace and slow motion again. So, hey, let's get it going, brother, man. Ready to go ahead and get it started whenever you're ready, brother.
All right, Tom. Hey, all praises, right? So for those that don't know, that NAAJ, right, represents Not All About Judah. Like I said, this is just a if you want to call it a mini series or a series, right? Just to kind of show our people, according to the 12 tribes chart that we actually use in the streets, right? To just show our people that just in America, or whether you live in New York or New Jersey or Detroit, LA, wherever, Texas, all over the place, right? All in just the United States. When you see our people, right? A lot of us like to say, oh, hey, Negro only, blacks only, so on and so forth. Not knowing that we scattered abroad, right? A lot of people don't like to include Mexicans when you're talking about the children of Israel, and any other race you could probably think of for that matter, right? That actually comes from the 12 tribes. So this is kind of a dedicated lesson to that. We're going to show even in the scriptures, right? We're going to show in the Old Testament. Of course, we can even dive in the New Testament to literally show what was actually happening, right? The lands that Yahweh Shai walked through, the lands that Paul went to, and things of that nature, right? We're going to literally show that our people were still there. And it wasn't just the Southern Kingdom. It wasn't just Judah, right? Everybody know the famous story with the woman at the well, right? She wasn't a part of Judah, right? But she was still our people, right? So first and foremost, let's start at, let me share my screen. Share my screen real quick. Entire screen. Let's go share system. Oh, I think I figured out how to do the I think I figured out why my audio wasn't playing before. Hopefully it works this time.
Okay.
All right, we're not gonna need it right now, no way. So let's pull up this blue letter. So before Genesis 49, I'm gonna go to Genesis 30. All right, Genesis 30. want to find where right here, verse 13. Actually, let's go before that, right? So this is, let me go back a chapter because I want to count, give people the what number Asher was born, right? All right, so we're gonna start at verse. Where we at? I done came down too far. Chapter 29, verse. Actually, no. I'm just gonna count. We're gonna start in chapter 30. So I'm gonna just count. And so we gotta understand who was born. We know that Reuben was born first, right? So Reuben, right? So Reuben, then Simeon, then Levi, then Judah. So that's 4. Going to the next chapter, we have Dan, right? Which is 5. Got Naphtali at 6. And then we have Gad at 7. And then Asher at number 8, right? So Genesis 30 and 13, it says, Leah said, happy am I, for the daughters will call me blessed, and she shall call his name Asher. Right? So now let's go to Genesis 49. Right? We're going to dive straight into the prophecy of what shall befall them in the last days. Right? So read verse 1, and then we jumping down right to the verse with Asher, right? So go ahead, verse 1.
All right, just the book of Genesis, chapter 49, and verse 1. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
Verse 2.
Gather yourselves together, and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father.
All right, so now we're going to jump down to verse number 20.
All right, verse 20. Out of Asher his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties.
All right, so out of Asher his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties, right? Meaning what is land, the things that he lived off of, right? All of these different things. I wasn't able to institute, right? Elder has sent me some stuff, and I wasn't able to institute it just yet, right? So I'm gonna actually just read, right? I'm gonna read it off my phone. What Elder Ira sent me, right? Just to show you how his bread shall be fat, right? So it says in Colombia, right? Colombia produces salt, right? It's a country that has I always get tongue twisted on this word.
Significant?
Kind. I don't know why I get tongue twisted, right? So it's also a country that has significant and century-old mines, salt mines, right? And it's a harvest industry, and the salt is sourced from both underground mines and large salt flats on the coast, right? There's 2 main areas. It is Manure, Lagar. It would be better if I did have it up on the screen. As a matter of fact, let's look this up. That way, everybody can kind of see exactly what it is, right? So let's do this. All right. We could just do it just like this. All right, so we can read the AI overview, right?
You want me to read it or you got it?
I got it. Right. So salt mines in Colombia. It says Colombia is home to several notable salt mines, each with its own unique history and significance. The Salt Cathedral of Zapocara is a prime example, built within tunnels of a salt mine, serving as a place of pilgrimage and a tourist attraction. Right. The Nemocan salt mine offers a more in-depth look at the salt mining industry, with tours included. A guide. Well, we're not gonna worry about that. We're not worried about tours, right? So the purpose of these salt mines, which we don't see on the screen, right? So the importance, it says the indigenous people use salt as value trade-ins, commodity for goods like gold and emeralds during the country's fight for independence. Income from the salt mines helpful to finance the war, right? Because anytime you have anything relatable with making money, especially when it comes down to our community, Esau want to put his hands on it, right? Esau always wants to put his hands on it. So remember that this is a prophecy of things that shall befall them in the last days, right? So they live on a good land, right? Per se. But again, we know that Esau always sticks us down in the ghettos, right? So during this lesson, we're going to literally see that again, right? So let's flip back to this blue letter, right? So read verse 20 again.
All right. Verse 20. Out of Asher, his bread shall be fat, and he shall yield royal dainties.
All right, so he shall yield royal dainties, right? Now, it came a time when I read this and I seen that, and it says that he should yield royal dainties. I automatically thought, hey, dainty, that sounds like some cake. That sounds like some food or something, right? But when I went into this blue letter, right? So I'm gonna go into this verse, and I'm gonna go down, right? I'm gonna go down to this word dainties, right? So on the surface, it literally says dainty food, delight. That's the outline biblical usage, right? But as we can see right here, this is something that's important. It says variant spellings, right? It's variant spellings for this word, which also means what? It's also different, going to be a different definition, right? We see Strong's definition, right? It literally says a delicacy or pleasure, dainty, delicately delight, right? But now let's go to the root of the word, right? Because we can see that this word will be pronounced ma'adan, right? Let's go to the root word. So the root word adan, right, literally means to luxuriate, delight oneself, right? To be soft or pleasant, figuratively and reflexively, to live voluptuously, right? To delight in oneself, right? So how would they delight in oneself, you may ask? So let's just look up some stuff, right? So this, what we see here, is a country in Colombia, named Palenquero, right? And then we can see how they dress. You see how the women are dressed, in this modest apparel, may I add, but nice and colorful dresses, things of that nature, all right? And these are for what? For festivals, all right? Different festivals that go on. And we can look up, they got a bunch of tens, maybe hundreds of festivals that they host throughout the year, right? One in particular we call the Barranquilla Carnival, right? So we can see here. Let me see if this, okay. Yep, so the Berenquillen Carnival. Right, it's basically the largest festival that they have, right? So let's just listen real quick. Y'all let me know if y'all able to hear anything.
This is the story of the one who knows being ready for the unexpected comes from having a partner like Ranger, whose professional grade products and
the ingredients are all there, the elaborate costumes, wild dances, and lively crowds. But this is not Rio de Janeiro.
Are y'all able to hear?
I know I hear it.
You hear it? Anybody in the chat saying they can hear you now? Can't see it.
Okay, Con. Yeah, people said Con.
Con. Okay, all praises. All praises. I figured out what was the problem. All right, so let's keep going.
Instead, we're in the coastal city of Barranquilla in Colombia at the world's second largest spectacle.
Our carnival represents the Caribbean culture. It's a joy, union, and respect of each other. It's where we enjoy ourselves, overcoming social classes, feeling we are one family.
Spanning back over 2 centuries, the carnival is a dazzling display of Caribbean customs and colors. But due to the bad reputation the country had, it has only recently started to receive attention.
The impressive thing is that it's not only here in this street, it's the entire city.
We're gonna ignore, these people, right? Because we gotta understand, as you can see, this is just a tourist. They would just want to come and be nosy, see what's going on. And they see us having a good time, just like right now, in our neighborhoods that we live in now. Back when, some of us used to go to different bars or clubs or things of that nature, right? You always may find maybe 1 or 2, other nations that might have come up in there, right? And they want to act like us. They want to dance like us. They want to talk like us. They want to drink like us. They want to do everything like us. So this is just a prime example of a tourist, right? They're literally coming to see the show that we put on. They're coming to see the colorful colors, right? Just like a circus, right?
That's in a major party.
This parade displays the most traditional dances, renewed generation through generation. They fuse African and indigenous roots with European traditions and Colombian flair, a unique mix.
We know that our, especially Northern Kingdom, right? All of us, really, but Northern Kingdom, this is who we are right now. We know that they got in bed, with Esau, right? They got in bed with Esau, and they're going to do anything that they do. So now they did what? They infused, like God just said, they infused so-called African customs with the European customs and indigenous customs, right? They fused all that stuff together.
Designed a UNESCO World Heritage.
The passion and energy of each of the dances are just exhilarating and are attracting an increasing number of visitors. 1.5 million are expected this year for a show that's turning into an ever larger international extravaganza, but remains deeply attached to its popular roots.
The dance known as Torito Ribeño has been performed uninterruptedly for 139 years. Alfonso Fontalvo, a third-generation director, continues preserving the tradition created by his grandfather. Not an easy task in a neighborhood where most people have many jobs. And
these people that's being shown now, this looks like our people, right?
Fight to make ends meet.
This dance was born in a humble community, and thanks to that, it has endured. If there were other interests involved, we would have issues. But since we have nothing else, it's the dance we defend altogether.
Few people understand the carnival resilience better than anthropologist Mirta Huelvas, who with a group of intellectuals fought to preserve and relaunch the carnival through the hard years of the internal conflict.
Lo importante es The important thing is the strength of belonging, of identifying with this event, and that's how it was transmitted from father to child, and today represents the greatest social capital of the Caribbean.
A total empathy with one's own culture that lives on despite hardship. Alessandro Rampietti, Al Jazeera, Barranquilla.
All right, so notice what he said. That it's something that lives on despite hardship, right? So what would be so hard, right? Well, let's find out, right? Let's find out. So let's type in, right, the Barranquilla, because Barranquilla, right, if that's how you pronounce it, Barranquilla literally is a city, right? It's a city in Colombia. If it pops up, I'm on images, that's why. So, let's see. I'm not sure if this is it. So, because this is something I just thought about. So, excuse me on this particular portion. But it just tells you how rough this area is, right? So, for the moment, let's just drop that, right? So, let's get into this article. Get into this article from the minorityrights.org, right? So you can just start from the top. Right? This is going into the so-called Afro community in Colombia, right? So let's just read some of this information, and we're gonna take it, and we just gonna just see who this lines up with, right? Because it doesn't matter if the words are saying Afro-Colombian, but what we're trying to see is how we literally line up as literally the same people, the same curses down, from Deuteronomy 28:15 all the way down. We're going to see that, hey, it's these people doing the same things, right? Go ahead.
All right. This is the Minority Rights Group. Starting off, says Colombia has one of the largest Afro-descendant populations in Latin America.
All right, so hold it right there. All right, we coming right back to this article because we're going to go to the other prophecy, right? We're going to go to Deuteronomy 33. Verse 23 is not the verse. Or actually, no, verse 24 is, right? So go ahead, read verse 24.
All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 33 and 24. And of Asher, he said, let Asher be blessed with children.
Let him be what?
Blessed with children.
Blessed with children, right? So now let's go back to this article. All right, start at the top again.
Colombia has one of the largest Afro-descendant populations in Latin America. Mm-hmm. According to a post-census survey, the government estimates the Afro-Colombians constitute 10% of the total population, which translates to approximately 4.67 million Afro-descendants. This estimation was made in response to concern about the 2018 census, which reduced the Afro-Colombian population by 30% compared to the previous census from 2005. Census figures also continue to be disputed by Afro-Colombian leaders such as Luis Gilberto Murillo Urrutia, former governor of the Department of Chocó, who states that the Afro-Colombian population is as high as 36 to 40%.
Similarly, so about 40%, right? 40% of the population, right? So you got to think about this, right? Colombia. We know that there's a bunch of other nations that live over there, right? Got probably some Vietnamese people, probably some definitely some white folks, right? You got to understand that it says that they make up about 40% of that. That's almost half of that population, right? So of course, when they have these festivals and things of that nature, they're going to infuse with these other people. All right, but let's just keep going.
All right. All right. So Francia Marquez Mina. Similarly, Francia Marquez Mina, the first Black woman vice president of Colombia, argues that there are about 15 million Afro descendants in Colombia.
See that? So this is the vice president, right? The so-called first Black woman president, right? So she's saying that, hey, it's about 15. Before they trying to just go off the census, which they know half of us not filling that stuff out. No way, more than half. That census used to come in the mail, man. We throw that thing right in the garbage.
Okay.
Right, but she's literally saying, hey, it's 15 million. So that's about a 11 million difference than what is reported. So she's saying, like, hey, this particular nation of so-called Negroes, they are populated, right? But the scripture literally just told us that, hey, let him be blessed with children, right? So let's keep going.
All right. Afro-Colombians are present in every major city in the country. It is thought that there are 1 million living in the capital, Bogota. Coastal regions of Colombia can be significant Afro-Colombian populations that are as high as 90% in the case of the Pacific or 60% on the Atlantic coast. The department of Valle del Cauca is the most populous Afro-Colombian state, followed by Bolívar and Antigua, Nariño, and Chaco. The combined total.
Hey, jump down to this next paragraph because this is what I was looking for.
The large majority of Afro-Colombians live in urban and peri-urban areas.
Right, peri-urban areas, right? So now let's see what that is, right? Peri-urban areas, right? Okay. So it says, go ahead.
Oh, you want me to? Okay, got you. Peri-urban estate, peri-urbanization. Peri-urbanization relates to the process of scattered and dispersive urban growth that create hybrid landscapes of fragmented and mixed urban and rural characteristics. Such areas may be referred to as the rural urban fringe, the outskirts, or the urban hinterland.
Right, so they put us on the outskirts of that thing, right? AKA, what do we call this in America? We call this redlining, right? But they use this word urban or peri-urban, right? So now let's go down to the structure and function.
All right. Peri-urban areas, also called urban space outskirts or the hinterland, are defined by the structure resulting from the process of urbanization. It can be described as the landscape interface or ecotone between town and countryside, or also as the rural urban transition zone where urban and rural uses and functions mix and often clash. It can thus be viewed as a viewed landscape type in its own right, one forged from the interaction of urban and rural land use. Its definition shifts depending on the global location, but typically in Europe, where suburban areas are intensively managed to prevent urban sprawl and protect agricultural land, the urban fringe will be characterized by certain land uses, which have either purposely moved from the urban area or require much larger tracts of land.
Right, so we're not gonna read the examples, right? So jump down right here.
All right. Despite these urban uses, the fringe remains largely open, with the majority of the land for agriculture, woodland, or other rural uses. The quality of living of the countryside around urban areas tends to be low, with severance between areas of open land and poorly maintained woodlands and hedgerows with the scattered urban facilities.
Right, so, but this is where we live, right? This is where we live at, where there's nothing going on, right? Nothing growing. We don't know how to grow food from the land, right? And we literally leave these lands, right, open to who? This is where Esau comes in. This is where he starts to continue to grow food from your land that you left, and he takes it and he puts it in your grocery stores, and he just, jacks the price up, right? But this is where they put us. All right, so let's go back.
Hey, can I bring something up real quick?
Come on, go ahead.
All right, give me on a couple things. Give me Hosea 7, right? Because you said something according to that video, right? Because a lot of people may just say, like you made the title, it's not all about Judah. So a lot of us know that, hey, Judah is considered as a dark race, right? A brown race of people. But then when you look at the video that you brought out, a lot of our people may say that can't be our people, right? That's nowhere that's our people, right? But according to what we're bringing out, what you're bringing out as evidence, it shows prophecy of these are our people. Go give me Hosea 7, start at verse 8, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's verse 8. Yeah. Start at verse 8.
All right. It's the book of Hosea, chapter 7 and verse 8. Ephraim, he hath mixed himself among the people.
What did Ephraim do?
Mixed himself among the people.
Uh-huh.
Ephraim is a cake not turned.
So when Ephraim was the northern kingdom, when they just went into their own ways of idolatry, they mixed themselves by joining leagues with these other nations. And by doing that, this also starts sexual relationships. So when you see the people in that land, you have to understand, like, we're looking for a dark race of people. This can't be our people because they're not dark enough to be our people. But it's been prophesied that they were going to be mixed amongst different nations. That's why it says Ephraim is a cake not turned, right? Because you got one side of a cake that may be light and the other side might be dark, right? Give me verse 9 real quick.
Verse 9. Strangers have devoured his strength.
How did they do that, right? And we see that still, like what you just said. If I'm not mistaken, you said that they own the salt, right?
Yeah, they grew salt. They basically salt mines was real prevalent in Colombia in their land.
So guess what? When you make a league with these people that has no love for you, they will devour your strength, right? Your strength was the things that was on the land, right? You had salt, you had a mine, you had a field that you can go ahead and make money off of. You know what I'm saying? It was a dainty thing, right? But then when you start rocking with them and start showing them the strength of what you guys are capable of doing, they remove your strength. And when they do that, that's because you lost your strength from the Most High God, right? You lost the way you look, right? That's why we see a lighter complexion and maybe look like they're not our people, right? They removed the strength of us coming to be one nation, of staying with the same race, right? That's what they did, these other nations. All right, go ahead.
Strangers have devoured his strength, and he knoweth it not.
Right, he don't even realize it, right? Because they've been lied to so much that the lie became a truth to them. All right, go ahead.
Yea, gray hairs are here and there upon him, yet he knoweth not.
Right, but that gray hair doesn't mean that he has wisdom, right? He's stressed out. He don't even realize that he's being oppressed. And he's supposed to be with wisdom, but he's depressed and oppressed, right? One more. Give me Deuteronomy 28, and I want to get 50 and 51. Right? Because we want to deal with and letting them know by the evidence you're bringing forth. These are part of the curses, how we can identify. This is talking about our people, right? Go ahead.
Is that 50 and 51?
Yeah, 50 and 51.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse number 50. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young.
Right.
And
just go ahead. Go ahead. 51.
And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed.
Right. And we know that they took everything out their land. What we just read, that they took them out of they put them in a red line hood. That's what they did. They put them in a hood.
A ghetto.
Exactly. They just put them right in the hood of the ghettos, right? So they didn't put them where they first were at, right? Nah, there's money over there. We got to separate them from their money so we can bring them over here where it's nothing. So they put them there and destroyed that and gave them a place where they were living with nothing but full of destruction. Go ahead.
Which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thine kind, or flocks of thy sheep, until he have destroyed thee.
He destroyed us, right? He destroyed that nation, because when you look at that nation, they're so destroyed that our people don't even identify and say they are Israelites. That's how bad they destroyed them. Not just with the food and the salt and all the oil that's produced out there. Nah, they destroyed them even by us not claiming them to be our people. So what we do, we have to look for a color. We want to say, I want to see a brown people, and say that's our people. Them right there ain't our people. But we just read that in Hosea 7 and 8. Yeah, cake not turned over. So we have to make it make sense that even though they don't look like us, I brought that out so it can make sense. That's showing you, even though they don't look like Judah, Benji, or Levi, guess what? The Northern Kingdom is still our people. Point blank. Now land there.
Right, you're right. 100% right. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always gonna be somebody. They're gonna look like they another nation, right? But this is why we're literally not supposed to just judge based off appearance. This is why we go to the highways and byways, and we have to ask those questions, right? Even to the ones that we don't think is our people. You know what I'm saying? We have to stop them and ask them, hey, what's your nationality? So on and so forth, right? I'm sure all of us brothers that go out to the highways and byways at some point or another been a part of a camp, and we literally talking to these people, and we might say, hey man, you ain't our people, this ain't for you, so on and so forth, and then without asking them their nationality, and then you turn around and ask them their nationality, they tell you, hey, you know, I'm a Cuban from such and such, my grandfather was this, and then now we, you know, look stuck looking stupid. So, you know, it's not about a color, it's about the things that they go through, right? Because at a point in time, you got to realize, hey, when Jacob was having these children, hey, they wasn't coming out all extra light skin, right? Probably didn't look nothing like no Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? Nothing like a Blake Griffin. Didn't look nothing like that. But again, like the brother just read, right? So let's get back to this article. Right down here. We in this one right here.
All right. The large majority of Afro-Colombians live in urban and peri-urban areas. In this fragile ecosystem, Afro-Colombians are peasant farmers and see themselves as the natural custodians of the country's biodiversity on which they depend for their subsistence and the maintenance of their cultural identity. Afro-Colombians practice crop diversity while delegating animal husbandry and other agriculture tasks in indigenous communities, a relationship which was led to tensions as pressure on available land increases.
Right, so as more land becomes available, now guess what? Now they're going to try to pressure him to take it over. They're going to try to pressure him to sell, to get up out of that land, right? It's the same tactics over and over and over again. We build something up, they come take it. We go somewhere else, we build it up, they come take it again, right? Let's read this last one right here.
The Colombian Department for National Statistics has recognized that there are 4 distinct Afro-descendant groups in the country.
All right, so remember what it says, it's 4 distinct, right? So again, our people are everywhere, right? Go ahead.
Black, Afro-Colombian, Rizal, and Palaquero communities, and that 2 of these speak their own distinct languages.
All right, so it's the Palenquero people and the Rizal people is the ones that speak. It's like a Spanish language, but it's not actually Spanish, right? Let me see something. I got that. I think I pulled it up. Yep. So Palenquero, right? So I kind of read this part. It's not a whole lot, right? So it just says Palenquero or Palenque, right? Is a Spanish-based Creole language spoken in Colombia, right? It is believed to be a mixture of Kakango, a language spoken in present-day Central Africa, right? Which everybody knows where we fled to, right? So that's one part, right? Let's go to Rizal, right? The Rizal are a Black Colombian ethnic group from archipelago of San Andres, right? Providencia and Santa Catalina off Colombia's Caribbean coast, right? We know our people are over there heavy, right? We was brought slaves there, literally, right? So I'm not gonna read the rest of that. Let's just go back to the article. Just wanted to show that those 2 are the ones that have their own distinct languages, right? So let's go to historical context, right? So let's go ahead and start at the top.
All right. Oops. Enslaved Africans were first brought by Spanish colonists to Cartagena in the 16th century to replace the lost labor on the plantations and mines which occurred as a result of the decimation of the indigenous population due partly to the harsh working conditions.
All right, so it was basically because they just wanted to take it. That's all it is. That's really what they're saying. Like, hey, we lost labor because we enslaved the indigenous people, the original ones that was there, and then we brought some more over here, right? There wasn't no lost labor. They just, we was in slavery, in captivity, in our punishment. That's what that was. All right, but go ahead.
All right. Afro-Colombian political consciousness is part of a strong culture of resistance waged by people of African descent in the face of colonial oppression and ethnic discrimination. An example of this culture of political resistance in Colombia traces its root back to the experience of the Palenqueros, or of the establishment of colonies of free Africans during slavery. During the anti-colonial war for liberation led by Simon Bolivar and Francisco de Paula Santander, Afro-Colombian slaves and former slaves represented 3 out of every 5 soldiers.
Look at that, right? In the Spanish War, in the Spanish Army, right? 3 out of every 5 soldiers was our people, right? Fighting their war. And we all know, same story, right? We fight the war, they promise us independence. Guess what? We don't get it. That's what we finna read. But let's go ahead.
And fight the war to help get rid of us. we know a lot of y'all gonna die, so that's why we want 3 out of 5 so we can kill a lot of y'all.
Yep.
All right. Although they still had to wait another 40 years after the war had been won before slavery was formally abolished in 1851.
Mm-hmm.
Modern formal political organization by Afro-Colombians based on ethnicity and the collective experience of racial discrimination later evolved as a reaction to and inspired by the emergence of indigenous organizations.
All right, so 40 years after the war had been won, right? When it was supposed to have been over with. It was supposed to have been over with, right? Anywhere between 1810 to 1820, it was supposed to, slavery was supposed to have been abolished, right? But guess what? We know where we were at, right? We know exactly where we was at. Still right there in slavery. All right, so let's jump down to, we're gonna skip this next paragraph, go down to this paragraph.
All right. Afro-Colombian communities and collective territories are mostly concentrated in the resource-rich and geopolitically strategic regions of the country that continue to be the scenes of fierce disputes between armed groups. Along with the Pacific Coast, the fight for the control and exploitation of collective lands by armed actors has meant that such communities have found themselves caught up in the crossfire or continuously on the front lines of the conflict.
Right, so why is this important, right? If they're continually caught in a crossfire, you can't live peaceably, right? It's always some, imagine a bomb blowing up or, people shot at next to your home every single day, right? We know we already know what it's like. That's why I said imagine it, right? Most of us that grew up in the hood, it was always gunshots going off, things of that nature all the time, right? But this is happening at a more rapid rate in that land, right? It's happening at a more rapid rate in that land, which is why damn near slavery ain't even over with over there, right? And we're talking about the hard bondage, right? And we're gonna find that out when we click to this next tab on current issues, right? We're gonna find that out. So let's keep going.
In response, Afro-Colombians organized themselves into peace communities or community councils and created Black-led process aimed at working towards the autonomy, self-determination, and empowerment of Afro-Colombian communities and propagating their active neutrality within the conflict.
All right, so we're gonna skip this, right? So y'all just remember this site if y'all want to come read everything, right? Just remember this site is minorityrights.com. You can .org /community/Afro-Colombians, right? Just wanted to show you because it's a whole lot more information you can read up on, right? But I want to get to the current day issues, right? So current day issues. So let's start with the second paragraph.
All right. The civil conflict has devastated many Afro-Colombian regions. Violence and trafficking are permeating the Pacific Coast and Afro-Colombian communities as far away as the island territories of San Andres and Providencia.
Which is the countries, Salaki, that's the countries that was listed when it said it was 4 main areas, right? Where the Blacks, the Afro-Colombians, the Raziel, right? And the Palancaro people, right? San Andreas and Providencia is literally those right there in those areas, right? So it says violence and trafficking are permeating, right? It's prevalent in that place. All right, so this is why, like anytime you traveling, you go overseas, whether it be Colombia, it could be Jamaica, any kind of island, Mexico, wherever, they always tell you, hey, or Hawaii, stay on a resort, hey, don't go into this area. Why? Because they're literally snatching children. They snatching adults. Hell, talking about snatching children, right? They snatching the dopes, right? That movie, my wife loved that dang on movie with that the old devil in it, Taken, right? Look at what happened when they went overseas. We went overseas, supposedly on a vacation, get snatched up, by some foreign folks. That's a real thing. Even though that was a movie, that's a real thing. This is happening, right? But mainly, see, we focus on our people, right? This is happening to our people, right? So go ahead.
All right. Many young people in these communities have limited options beyond fighting, drug trafficking, or being trafficked for prostitution.
Mm-hmm.
Some Afro-Colombians with limited opportunities for meaningful employment have reportedly been recruited by the guerrilla, paramilitary, drug trade, or accompanying forms of trafficking and prostitution that support the conflict.
Right. So why is this such a sad thing, right? Just in case somebody don't know what a paramilitary is, right? So let's bring this up, right? What is a paramilitary? Let's see. Let's see what they do. Let's go to Wikipedia. All right. So it says a paramilitary is a force or unit that functions and is organized in a manner of analogous to a military force, but does not have professional or legitimate status. Right? So you're not even a real group. You are what on a lower level, or not a lower level, you are a high level narco team. That's just through, and we know what, especially like in a lot of these movies, you know what I'm saying? They literally are a team of so-called officers that come in and they don't follow all of the rules that normal officers follow, right? They bring this particular sect in to literally enforce, to propagate, to take away, to do whatever, right? And they're literally in this article here, it literally says, where is it at? So it says many young people, it's like right here. So the paramilitary and the guerrilla are extreme risky options. Oh no, I'm going too far. So like some Afro-Colombians with limited opportunities, right? So the ones that don't have rich parents, right? The ones that didn't get to grow up in the neighborhood to where they can even finish school, right? They have limited opportunities. So what do? Right? Same thing we do in this area. We join our army, we join the Navy, so on and so forth. But this is worse than joining the Army or Navy, right? This is worse than that. So got a little entertainment for y'all, for those that did watch this show, right? So excuse, I'm gonna say it right now, excuse the language, right? So snow caused snowfall, right? And during this, it was literally what was the guy named? The Edomite name? Teddy, right? This is the Edomite that worked for the CIA, or outskirt of the CIA, that was using black men and black neighborhoods, to sell drugs to help fund the war. Right? So and at this particular point, the CIA agent, had stole Franklin's money, so on and so forth, right? So let's just see, right, the power of this type of CIA agent, or the power of a paramilitary type of person, right? Excuse the language again. Let me blow it up first.
you after always having your back? Why wipe me out? You still think that it's about you? This is about $70 million in covert funds can do. I'm not talking about fucking airplanes and penthouses. I'm talking about protecting this country from people who want to destroy it.
So he's saying that he stole his money, because he sold drugs for him, and he had $70 million, right? That he stole from him. And he said, hey, it's not about you. It's about protecting this country, right? Protecting that country from who, right? Because what I'm going to do once this go off, I'm going to go and I'm going to show y'all the whole point of this particular story and the part of America that he was raising money for, right? Because this is shot in LA, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Like with Rick Ross. This is supposed to be like the story of like a Rick Ross.
Right? So this is in LA, right? In North America. But let's just keep going for the moment.
I'm talking about you. Your family. And your neighborhood. You don't think that costs something? You think that just happens? No. It doesn't just happen. Enough. Stop with your fucking bullshit. Okay? The Pentagon spends $250 billion a year on defense. But you needed my pocket change? The fuck you did, man? Tell me the truth, Teddy. That's all you've got left. Why did you take my fucking money? It's not your fucking money! What? It's my cocaine, and it's my operation.
See that? So he done did this for nothing, right? Just think, we could think of Franklin as the paramilitary or joining the guerrilla force, right? Everything that you do, right? You help them out, and at the end of the day, they can just come take it over, right? Think about. Let's just put this on a sports player type of level, right? Think about the sports players. Same things happen to them. They put them on this high pedestal, and look at, as a matter of fact, a perfect example. Somebody like Deshaun Watson, right? Football player, right? He had just got a new contract, so on and so forth. The following year, he didn't want to play for the team no more. He played for the Houston Texans. Didn't want to play for him no more. All out the blue, here come allegations, sexual assault allegations. He got 20 different cases of 20 different women supposedly filing. And, of course, he ended up settling for some of them. Most of them got through out, but he settled for some of them. But what, just to get it out the way. Because it's just been an ongoing thing. Esau knows how to get rid of you. He knows how, no matter what it is you do. Again, you have what? You got a social security number that's attached to you from the day that you're born, right? So anything that you do in this world, whether you're young or older, they can track you. It's nothing that you can do to get away from it. They're going to be able to track you. And if you do so-called get quote-unquote independence, guess what? You still ain't got no rights. I don't care what it is you do, you in this system.
Right? Hey, and be mindful. Israelites groups are growing and growing and growing.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? You don't think they're watching what we're putting out? And what we're putting out, you have to understand they're going to use informants.
Okay.
You have to pay attention to your camps, because in these camps, this is exactly what they do. We want information. Like, they already put informants in Christianity. They'll send these people in them churches making sure that they teaching what the government is funding them. We funding you this money to teach this. So you need to keep on teaching that. Once I start hearing y'all are the people in these buildings, we're shutting it all down.
Okay.
So pastors, I need you to go into these neighborhoods that don't know no better and teach them what I want you to teach them. So now what's happening is, since us as the Israelite community is growing, they're sending informants to the camps. And a lot of these informants, you would think that is going to be looking like Esau. They're your own people. They're your own people that's wearing fringes and say they want to be a part of your camp. And they're paying attention because their job is, we're going to use you for so much. Just like what we're seeing right here. And we're going to get rid of you. Just like how they got rid of Asher salt. We're going to let you produce as much salt that we see that it's a good reputation of people need it and people want it. It's a big business. And we see that you're making so much money. We're going to send informants just to show, so you can show us how to operate it. And then we're going to take over it.
Okay.
That's how they operate.
Okay.
You strip us with nothing. And they take everything from us. So absolutely, man, we have to pay attention when these informants come, because they come in different colors and shape and sizes. I land there.
And just imagine, right? They use that salt for many things, trading it for many things, many expensive things. You know what I'm saying? So just, hey, it's no different than owning a cotton field, right? And all of that. So let's just keep going.
I made you what you are. Okay, and it's my operation. I made you what you are. Everything you have is because I allowed you to have it.
Yeah.
And if I
right, even though he didn't kill him in this scene, right? But he's literally arrogant enough to say, while he's not even in a position to say it, everything you have is because I allowed you to have it. Right? If this is not captivity, I don't know what it is.
Right. Absolutely. Hey, and that's the way they played us. That's how we look when we find out they're not our friend.
Yeah. Yeah. All this time. He done been shot for this. He done been shot for this man and all of that.
Right. You made me hate my own people. That's how Asher look at it. You made me not look at the other people, what they may call us cocoa people. That's my people.
Okay. Right. And that's the importance of this lesson, to literally just show who our people is. Because again, like the brother said, you're going to have people that infiltrate these camps. They're going to say, hey, I'm from the tribe of such and such. Right. Because they know, you know, for the most part, like as far as the ones that say that we're from Judah, so-called African Americans, right? So-called Jamaicans, so-called Levites. Hey, and they know a lot of them can't really come in there and saying, hey, I'm Judah. You know what I'm saying? We're going to look at like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But if they come in saying that I'm Ephraim, I'm Manasseh, you know, I'm Asher, whatever the case is, you know, we might be like, all right, we still got to try the spirit, of course. That's what the scriptures tell us to do. But, you know, we might be a little more acceptable to that. So, but that's the importance of this lesson, to literally show, hey, so-called Judah, I mean, not so-called Judah, so-called African-American man, guess what? Hey, it's not all about you, right? You got brothers, right? Other brothers. That's part of the 12 tribes, brothers and sisters, right? I'm going to go for a few more minutes.
That those funds could be better spent trying to preserve our way of life, and you are goddamn right that's what's gonna happen. Well, now we're getting somewhere. So did you even think for a second what that would do to me? What I'd have to do to try and get them back? No? Or yes, but you just didn't give a shit? I thought I would live with the consequences. Well, here they are. You never fucking respected me. never saw me as a partner, but you know, that's how I saw you. I actually thought you
always want to be friends. All right. Which is exactly what, as we can see when we looked at that Balancaro Carnival, right? We can just see, hey, our people just enjoying life with these heathen people, right? Putting on the show. And these people coming from all over to watch this clown show. That's because that's how they see it. When you're not literally dribbling the basketball, singing and dancing, things of that nature, hey, many people really don't want to deal with you. You, as long as you singing, dancing, got playing some type of sports, right? They love you. And when you ain't doing it, you a nigga again. I'm gonna go for a couple more minutes.
He was my friend. And as fucked up as that sounds, these shit scenes were telling truths. I actually thought that we might know each other for the rest of our lives. Barbecues and shit. And you know, earlier, when you said, I think this is all about me, I don't. No, it really is just about the money. Everything I had to do, what I had to become to get it. So don't give me any more bullshit about God and country and larger sacrifices. No, the fact that you cleaned me out and took it all from me means this shit is all about you. Why didn't you make me some? Huh?
Right. Oh, we can get rid of this, right? We don't need that no more. I think we got the point, right?
Hey, you know what? Let me bring something out real quick, right? Like what you said, right? Give me Psalms 137 real quick, because that's exactly what we do, man. Like what we were showing in that clip of that parade. That's exactly what we do. You know what? Make it even better. Do it in the G&T version, because it comes in a little bit more clear, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I'm saying? Go into the G&T. I don't think you can. Can you get G&T in that one?
Nope. You can get NLT. It's all good, right? Let me go into something I'm not using no more.
Right, because you know, just like if y'all remember the video, you seen us parading. That's what we always do as a people, right? When we are in these cultural base, we want to dance on their culture. That's what they say. They really say it's our culture, but it's not. We'd like to dance and parade on their activities of false gods and stuff like that. But this is nothing new under the sun, right? Let's read 137, what David was kicking out. Facts.
All right. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 137 in the GNT. It says, by the rivers of Babylon we sat down. There we wept when we remembered Zion.
Right. And, you know, a lot of us don't even remember Zion, right? We don't remember Israel is our homeland. A lot of us haven't even wept and thinking that we are in the land of captivity. You know what I'm saying? The people out there in Asher, I mean, the Asher people that's in Colombia, they don't even know that they are Asher.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? They don't even understand that. So why they in Colombia and they thinking we're Colombians? I love my heritage and my everything about it. I love walking down, parading all around the street and entertaining. Right? Go ahead.
Says on the willows nearby we hung up our harps.
No, not Asher. They get in the streets and start marching around. Nah, they don't hang up no harps. Hey, we ain't in captivity. We ain't in captivity. We Colombians. Go ahead.
Those who captured us told us to sing.
Nah, they ain't tell us to sing. We love singing, right? We love singing for them, right? What they say?
Those who captured us told us to sing.
Uh-huh.
They told us to entertain them.
That's what they were doing. Why they're marching down the streets and you got Esau and them being entertained, clapping and all that. They don't care about none of that. They don't even know what they're singing. All they know is that it's a rhythm, and it's a rhythm from you keeping your God. That's all they know. You're entertaining us. You're not entertaining your God. The more we see you dance around and harp around, we see you that you far away from your God. We see you far away from not who you are, that you're from the tribe of Asher.
Okay.
Go ahead.
It says, so like I'm gonna start from verse 3 again. Those who captured us told us to sing. They told us to entertain them. Sing us a song about Zion. How can we sing a song to the Lord in a foreign land?
How can Asher say that's their culture? And that was never the culture the Most High have given you. How can you say Asher dance like this in the streets? But then they tell you that you are the Colombians, so this is what the inheritance of the Colombians, that's their culture, right? You don't even know who you are. So David is already telling you, when you know who you are, ain't nothing to be trying to go out there and parade and entertain these people. These people are just really just keeping an eye on you and making sure that you're still oppressed. When y'all stop doing that parade and y'all start doing high holy days, then therefore that's when they're gonna stop coming to these parties and they're gonna start studying you a little bit more and trying to get you out of there. But till then, while you're dancing and prancing around, hey, they're gonna make sure you stay oppressed and you're entertaining them because you're not waking up. That's what they're entertaining. They don't care about the songs that's going on. They don't care about what you used to do. They want to make sure you forgot what you used to do. They want to make sure that Asher is not even a nation no more. They're Colombians. They're known for drug lords. That's what they want to tell you. And you got a dark race that we hide, that we don't want to put in public because we don't want to show that these are black people in here. We got to show the multi-diverse culture look. They're the wicked people of all. Go ahead.
May I never be able to play the harp again if I forget you, Jerusalem. May I never be able to sing again if I do not remember you, if I do not think of you as my greatest joy.
Right. I just want to land it right there. That's what we want to do, man. That's where when the Colombians wake up and they find out that they're not Colombians, that they are the tribe of Asher, they're no longer going to be playing the harp. They're no longer going to be dancing and entertaining. They're going to start building up to gather themselves together to knowing that the enemy is coming after them. And I'll land there.
Okay. All right. So real quick, I just want to show y'all too. Remember what I said, that the guy Teddy, they say it was based on a true story, right? So just a simple Google search. So I'm gonna go right here. Right, it says Terry McDonald actions in Snowfall are driven by his desire to fund the Contras and overthrow the Nicaraguan government. Right, and when you look that up, it's literally South America, right? God. And this is based off a true story, right? The CIA always sent people in to become informants, right? Set them up to where some of them had to sell, some of them chose to sell drugs, and then some of them had to. Otherwise, either they would kill your family, they would put you in jail, whatever the case may be, right? So just like this says in this article here, because we got to go back to it, right? It says some Afro-Colombians with limited opportunities for meaningful employment have reportedly been recruited by the guerrilla, paramilitary, right? Drug trade, which is what that show is about, right? Or accompanying forms of trafficking and prostitution to support the conflict, right? We can pick it up from right here.
The paramilitary and guerrilla are extremely risky options, but in regions with extreme poverty, they may provide the only source of income and survival.
See that? You got to do what you got to do to survive. Why? Because they're literally, it's happening in your neighborhood. The violence, trafficking, all of these different things, especially in Colombia, as we can see, right? It says it was permeating the Pacific coast and Afro-Colombian communities, right? Go ahead.
Given the extremely low rates of Social Security benefits obtained by Afro-Colombian workers, a small pension or survivor benefits to family members may serve as an incentive to engage in illicit activities.
Right. So they say, hey, I'm going to do this for your family members. Right. You come do this for me. Something happened to you. I'm going to do it for your family members. They never ran through on their promises. Right. All of these Social Security benefits, things that we get here in America. Right. This is the reason why. And I don't know. Hopefully, the brother Yasha were looking at it. Right. When we had that conversation. And he was saying, like, man, I don't know. He's like, I think Judah got it the worst. And I read something like this, and I'm trying to play this out in my mind, right? I think this is a lot worse than what we have it. You know what I'm saying? This is today's time, right? This is real time that they're doing this. You know what I'm saying? It's literally, hey, you come over here, you work for me, I take care of your family. If you don't want to work for me, then I'm either kill you and your family, or I'm not going to take care of y'all no more. Right? We literally have food stamp benefits. We got all of this stuff over here, right? This is why a lot of people flock to America, because they can come and get a lot of different things that they don't necessarily deserve. Right? So I want to keep going. Let me see. We're going to jump down to this paragraph here.
All right. Most Afro-Colombians are based in urban areas. They are the majority population in towns in the Northwest, and also live in low-income settlements in the major cities.
See that? Projects. Right here. Projects. Low-income settlement. This is projects. Right? This is where our people are in the major cities, right? Go ahead.
Capital Bogota. Widespread displacement from communal lands has contributed to the process. According to one estimate, more than 70% of Bogota's sizable Afro-Colombian community were born outside the city, a proportion that suggests the significant role that displacement has played in the urbanization of Afro-Colombians.
Mm-hmm.
In this context, reinforced by existing discrimination, many urban Afro-Colombians have been exposed to poverty, exclusion, and physical insecurity.
See that? They are people. This is us. Right? This is literally us. Not gonna. All right, we're gonna be done with this article, right? Let's get done with that article. So, where we at? All right, I want to show y'all something. Now we're gonna go back into the scriptures, right? Because this is just to show what's happening now. Let's see what was going on in the scriptures, because we all know that we were split, right? So I'm gonna pull up this map. I want to show something. All right. So as we can see here, we have the land of Asher alongside of Naphtali, Zebulun, right? And right, you also have Tyre that is inside of Asher, Zidon right above it, right? So as we can see that this is literally on the borders of the Mediterranean Sea. All right. So we also know that Asher did what? They left, they got put out, so on and so forth, right? Doesn't mean that everybody left, right, during the Assyrian captivity, because, again, there was a remnant that was behind. Majority of them left. They came to what we know, what the scriptures call Arsareth, and what we know as America, right? So, but let's see. Let's see in the scriptures, right? And let's pull up this map first. So we remember where this is the kingdoms of Judah and Israel, right? Now we remember this is, I'm not sure how good y'all can see. I'm gonna try to hit that to see if that's better, right? So y'all can see that we knew that Tyre was where? In Asher. Then right above we had Zidon. right? But when you go and scroll up, we see this land later became where? Phoenicia, right? This land later became Phoenicia, and then what we know as modern day Lebanon, right? But this land later became Phoenicia. Why am I bringing this up? Well, let's go into some scripture, right? And I know I'm gonna get a phone call from Elder Karab because this is something. This is something that he definitely brought up before, right? So let's go to the book of Mark, chapter 7. Right. And the question was asked, was this woman that was healed in Mark 7, was she an Israelite or was she another nation? Right. And upon putting this lesson together, this is the outcome that I came up with, right? So let's go to Mark 7. Let's start at verse 24.
All right, this is the book of Mark, chapter 7, and verse 24. And from thence he arose, and he went into the borders of Tyre and Sidon, and entered into an house, and would have no man know it, but he could not be hid.
All right, so he went into the borders of Tyre and Sidon, which is where, people? Let's go. Let's pull up a different map, right? Borders of Tyre, Sidon, which is the land of Asher, right? Also, if you want to include Galilee, which is the land of Naphtali, so on and so forth. If you want to include that, that's fine, right? But mainly Phoenicia, right? This is where Tyre, this is where Zidon, right? So that's where he's at. This is where Yahushua is at, right? Go ahead.
For a certain woman whose young daughter had an unclean spirit heard of him, and came and fell at his feet.
Right? So say that they heard him. Of course, we know that other nations definitely heard of him, right? But we also know that some northern kingdom, just like the woman at the well, right, knew who her father was. She knew that she belonged to Joseph, right? Knew that the well belongs to Joseph. That's why she said, "Our father Joseph," right? They understood that. So this certain woman, right, whose daughter had an unclean spirit, heard of him, came and fell at his feet. Read.
The woman was a Greek.
She was a what?
A Greek.
Now we know during this time, this was like the modern language, right? Especially in this area, right? But go ahead.
A Syrophoenician by nation. And she besought him that he would cast forth the devil out of her daughter. But Yahushua said unto her, let the children first be filled, for it is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it unto the dogs.
Go ahead.
And she answered and said unto him, yes, Lord, yet the dogs under the table eat of the children's crumbs. And he said unto her, for this saying, go thy way, the devil is gone out of thy daughter. And when she was come to her house, she found the devil gone out, and her daughter laid upon the bed. And again,
so you could drop it, right? So we can see that Yahushua going into the borders of Tyre Zidon, which is the land of Asher, which later became the land of Phoenicia, right? We see Yahushua going there and healing, right? Now let's see who else we see going there and healing, right? So let's go to the book of Acts, chapter 11. And we see, because it's not going to say it in the verse I'm going to start at, but we can see that this is Peter, right? It says that the apostles and the brethren that were in Judea heard that the Gentiles had also received the word of God, right? So and then it says, and when Peter was come to Jerusalem, right? So let's go down to verse 12, and we're going to read down to like 22, 23.
All right, this is the book of Acts, chapter 11, and verse 12. And the Spirit bade me go with them, nothing doubting. Moreover, these 6 brethren accompanied me, and we entered into the man's house. And he showed us how he had seen an angel in his house, which stood and said unto him, Send men to Joppa, and call for Simon, whose surname is Peter, who shall tell thee words, whereby thou and all thy house shall be saved. And as I began to speak, the Holy Spirit fell on him, as on us at the beginning. Then remembered I the word of the Lord, how that he said, John indeed baptized with water, but ye shall be baptized with the Holy Spirit. For as much then as Yahweh gave them the like gift as he did unto us, who believe on the Lord Mashiach Yahushua, what was that I could withstand Yahweh? When they heard these things, they held their peace and glorified Yahweh, saying, Then have Yahweh also to the Gentiles granted repentance unto life?
See that? So hey, he did that to the Gentiles too. Hey, was Jehovah doing that when he healed like the woman, this Syro-Phoenician woman, right? Supposedly from that land, right? Again, we got to remember that the remnant is scattered, right? So when we go out, we're not going out to heal other nations, right? We're going out to heal our people. Always. That's the plan from the beginning. This is the purpose of Yahushua. This was the purpose of the disciples after Yahushua, to go out and heal the nations, right? Which we talking about the 12 tribes, right? So let's keep going, right? So God has also to the Gentiles granted repentance unto life, right? Let's keep going.
Verse 19. Now they which were scattered abroad upon the persecution that arose about Stephen, traveled as far as Phoenice.
Right, this is Phoenicia, right? Same land. Go ahead.
And Cyprus and Antioch, preaching the word to none but unto the Jews only.
Unto who only?
The Jews only.
Unto the Jews only. That's what they was doing in Phoenicia, right? Preaching none other. I mean, preaching the word to none but the Jews only. That's it, right? And we know that the disciples walked basically after Yahushua, walked with them, right? And walked after, doing what? Healing, preaching the word. Healing, preaching the word. No matter what land that they went into, healing, preaching the word. So this is the same thing they was doing in Phoenicia. Right? Go ahead.
And some of them were men of Cyprus and Cyrene, which when they were come to Antioch, spake unto the Grecians, preaching.
Spake unto who?
The Grecians.
Right? What was that woman when we just read in Mark chapter 7? Said she was a Greek, right? But what was they doing? Go ahead.
Spake unto the Grecians, preaching the Lord Yahushua.
Go ahead.
And the hand of the Lord was with them, and a great number believed, and turned unto the Lord. Then tidings of these things came unto the ears of the church, which was in Jerusalem, and they sent forth Barnabas, that he should go as far as Antioch.
All right, so they sent forth Barnabas, right? So now let's fast forward a couple chapters later. Let's see. Send forth Barnabas. Let's see what Barnabas went to. Chapter 15. Let's pick it up at the first verse.
It's the book of Acts, chapter 15 and verse 1. And certain men which came down from Judea taught the brethren, and said, Except ye be circumcised after the manner of Moses, ye cannot be saved. When therefore Paul and Barnabas had no small dissension and disputation with them, they determined that Paul and Barnabas and certain other of them should go up to Jerusalem unto the apostles and elders about this question.
Right, so they just asking about they literally saying, this is the question about circumcision, right? And they saying, hey, unless you circumcise after the manner of Moses, you cannot be saved. So, hey, it was a conversation that was happening, and we could see this is prevalent, especially reading through Corinthians, Galatians, so on and so forth. A lot of Paul's letters, right? It's an argument about literally circumcision. Well, let's see. Let's see where they were at. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 3, and being brought on their way by the church, they passed through Phoenice and Samaria. Phoenice and Samaria.
Through Phoenice and Samaria, right? Through the land of Asher, right? Through the land of Ephraim. What were they doing?
Declaring the conversion of the Gentiles.
Hey, they saying, hey, Gentiles need to come back. They was declaring the conversion of them, right? They was like saying, hey, y'all are God's chosen people. Come back, repent. This is what they were doing. Right? Go ahead.
And they caused great joy unto all the brethren. And when they were come to Jerusalem, they were received of the church and of the apostles and elders, and they declare all things that Yahweh had done with them.
Right, and this is what the Gentiles declared. Right, they declared everything that the apostles and the elders and that the Most High had done with them by giving them the wisdom and all of these things. Right, but now let's see. Let's read this part.
But there rose up certain of the sect of the Pharisees, which believed, saying that it was needful to circumcise them and to command them to keep the law of Moses.
Right, so we know who this more than likely is, right? This could literally be what you may call your OT onlys, right? People that don't believe in Yahweh Shai, things of that nature, right? People that, hey, Negro onlys, right? They like, nah, man, hey, no, we can't have this. You got to keep the law down to the T, every word. You know, ain't no grace, right? This is your modern day Pharisees, right? In these lands, right? Because again, you got to remember the southern kingdom, they stuck around in that area. This is why you always had, when you go to both of these maps, go to this one first. Oh man. Okay, why you want to do that? So you got this map here. Now we can see that Phoenicia and all of that, right? But the one thing, or can we even see that? Let me see. Right? The one thing that never changed, right here, I don't know if y'all can see it, it says Kingdom of Judah, right? Or Judea. This is the one thing that never changed. But guess what did change? Right? The land of Asher, Naphtali, right? Manasseh. This is Gad down here. It's supposed to be, right? All of that changed. Judea never changed. Why? This is how you know that we stuck around. This is how you know when the prophecy speaks about when they got out of the captivity from the Assyrians and them traveling into a land, right? This is why, right? But people were still in this place. People still knew, according to the book of John, that the woman at the well, she still knew that, hey, this belongs to our Father, regardless of what the land was called, right? She always knew that, right? So again, we are faith. Let me get this real quick. Romans. I'm gonna go to Romans twice actually. So Romans 8 verse 16.
All right, this is the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh.
All right, so I guarantee any Judite, right? Any Southern Kingdom Israelite right now, their spirit bears witness to everything they seen from the so-called Colombian people, right? Regardless of color, right? The what's the word that I'm looking for? The culture, the rhythm, right? The music, listening to music, dancing, whatever, our people, our spirit bears witness with that, right? This is why a lot of us will go over there and travel to do those very same things, to be a part of those festivals, right? We'll do it. Hell, we even try to be a part of St. Patrick's Day, right? And we ain't talking about, I know Priest did a lesson a while back about the Irish and their original color, right? But we're talking about, your Edomite Irishmen. We want to party with them so bad. Everybody get the green on. You go there, you drinking some damn green beer. That's just, I don't even know why people won't put anything. You won't put color in your beer. Like, come on, bro. Right? But the spirit has to bear witness. Right? Go ahead.
And if children, then heirs of Yahweh, and joint heirs with Christ. If so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together.
Right? And then he's not just talking about Southern Kingdom. He's talking about both. Right? Because this is why it says heirs of God, right? Because originally, guess what? We were literally chosen by the Most High, right? And then, guess what? Joint heirs with Christ. Because the Most High had to send Yahushua. He had to send Yahushua. And because of this, hey, once we repent, come back to him through Yahushua, hey, we may also be glorified together, right? But it says, if so be that we suffer with it, right? So we got to repent. There's no other way around it. All right. I got two more. I'm going to wrap it on up, right? So, chapter 10, verse 17. Actually, start at verse 16.
All right. This is the book of Romans, chapter 10 and verse 16. But they have not all obeyed the gospel. For Isaiah says, Lord, who have believed our report.
Mm-hmm.
So then faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
But I say, have they not heard? Yes, verily, their sound sent into all the earth, and their words unto the ends of the world.
Mm-hmm.
But I say, did not Israel know?
Did not Israel know? Did not the Northern Kingdom know? Go ahead.
First Moses said, I will provoke you to jealousy by them that are no people.
Mm-hmm. This is who? Salakia. Who is this? Right? This is a whole nother lesson, right? I believe, I'm not sure if we had did that live or not, but this is a whole nother lesson. But this is literally Northern Kingdom. All right? Go ahead.
I will provoke you to jealousy by them that are no people. And by a foolish nation, I will anger you.
All right, so this is the them that are no people. This is Northern Kingdom. That's another lesson for a different time, right? Right now, most important part is the faith, right? Faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God, right? But is it only hearing? Absolutely not, right? It's not only hearing. So let's get Hebrews 11, right? We're going to see what faith is, and then we're going to see how the men of the Most High, we're not going to read all of them, but we're going to see how the men of the Most High exercise their faith. We're going to see if they only just heard, right? So go ahead, start at verse 1.
Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen.
All right, so we understand this is what faith is, right? Things that are hoped for, right? And let's see who obtained it.
For by it, the elders obtained a good report.
See that? So this is a book of Hebrews addressing the Hebrews, the Israelites, right? And it says, for it by elders obtained a good report, right? Now, last time I checked, I've never seen a Hebrew Edomite or Israelite Edomite be an elder to an Israelite. Never seen that. Heard it in my life. Don't read that in the Bible. It's not nowhere. Right? So faith is basically only attained by who? This is where is this book written to? The Hebrews. Right? The Israelites. Faith is only attained by them. Because they are the only one, we are the only ones that can do the work. Right? Let's keep going.
Through faith, we understand that the worlds were framed by the word of Yahweh, so that things which were seen were not made of things which do appear.
Mm-hmm.
By
So
faith. Oh, okay.
Yep. You keep going.
By faith, Abel offered unto Yahweh a more excellent sacrifice than Cain, by which he obtained witness that he was righteous, Yahweh testifying of his gifts, and by it he being dead yet speaketh.
See, that's so. This is an offering, right? Abel had to do what? A work. Right? Go ahead.
By faith, Enoch was translated that he should not see death, and was not found, because Yahweh had translated him. For before his translation, he had this testimony that he pleased Yahweh.
He pleased the Most High. The Most High say Enoch pleased him. Right? Regardless to whether you see detail for detail about Enoch, and the Most High say he pleased him, and he translated him and took him up, ain't nothing else further need to be explained. Right? Why am I saying that? Verse 6.
But without faith, it is impossible to please him.
Hey, without it, you can't do nothing with it. Can't do nothing with the Most High. Right? You can't please him. Read.
For he that cometh to Yahweh must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. By faith, Noah, being warned of Yahweh of things not seen as yet, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house.
He built the ark. He put work in. Right? He literally put work in, whether it be like heavy physical work, whether it be him, like it said about Abel preparing the offering, right? Let's jump down. Let's jump down. Let's see.
By faith. Oh, all right. Through faith.
It's like I did skip Abraham. My bad.
By faith, Abraham, when he was called to go out into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out, not knowing whither he went. By faith, he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise.
The heirs with them of the same promise. Don't go to everybody. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, first and foremost, and by faith, right? Because remember what it said in Romans. Hey, faith cometh by hearing, and hearing by the word of God, right? So the Most High sent the message, told him, hey, time for you to get up out this land, and you go somewhere else, right? He told him where to go, but hey, you got to go. A lot of us, man, if somebody came to us right now and literally said, hey, you got to move out of Detroit, the Most High got something prepared for you, we're going to look at them like they crazy, right? Automatic. We're going to look at them like they're crazy. So, again, faith comes by hearing and hearing by the word of God. Now, of course, we're not going to take that from somebody that don't keep commandments, right, at all, but we just going and showing that faith comes by works, right? James says it. I'm not going to even read it, you know what I'm saying, because we know exactly what James says. Your faith comes by your works. Guess what? If the commandments wasn't given to you, you can't have no works. So in terms, you can't have much faith. The only faith you can have is, hey, he is the Most High is the God of the Israelites. That's it. That's all y'all get.
Okay.
All right. So with that, I'm gonna conclude this lesson tonight. So Most High willing, brothers and sisters was edified. Definitely gonna continue. Y'all won't know the next tribe I'm doing until I actually do it. So, hey, with that being said, I'm gonna land my plane right there. If you want to add anything.
Kind of well put together. Well, good lesson. Definitely a learning tool for me with dealing with Asher. Never going to pretend like I know each tribe belongings, but definitely always still learning, you know. So at the end of the day, I definitely was edified and give glory and honor to the Most High God, you know, for these moments of learning your people. That's what it's about. It's not always about knowing your own tribe, you know what I'm saying? Because when we stick to that, then we still back into that mindset of slavery, right? Where we in that mindset of thinking of like, man, this tribe is better. This tribe is better. And you have to understand, like, hey, rep your tribe. There's nothing wrong with repping your tribe, you know? But when you get to the point where you have no understanding about other tribes, like how can you sit down at a table and relate with them? Right? Because we know that we can relate with one another, as we know, like, hey, I'm an African American, so-called African American. I can relate with you in many ways. But when we take the title away from us, when we say we from the tribe of Judah, and this brother from the tribe of Ephraim, and this brother is tribe of Gad, how do you relate? How do Judah relate with Gad? How do Judah relate with Asher? Right? How do Judah relate with Zebulon, right? And Naphtali. How do we relate with these people? Right? Because all we have to do is go right back in Deuteronomy 28 and do the research. The curse itself is going to bring the evidence. And when we do the research, it's going to match up and like, man, it sounds just like us. It sounds just like what they did. They redlined us and we live in bad neighborhoods and they prostituted us. They raped us. We've been on slave ships. We've been on all these things, man. So, never just focus on one tribe. Just because you're part of that tribe, understand your people, because in one day, when Yahweh shall return, whatever that history is never going to be forgotten or broken. But one thing we're going to agree, that we are one people, and we're going to become one body, and we're going to have one purpose, is to serve Yahweh and Yahweh Shai and rule to the end. Now land there.
On all praises. As y'all can see, you know, ticker at the bottom has our email address. I know it has a phone number. We gonna get actually an updated phone number, most high willing, by next week. So I don't think that line is actually on no more. So in case anybody was calling, if you was wondering why you couldn't get through, you know, that's the reason why. So I'm definitely gonna take that down for next week. Again, most high willing, we have something else there. So again, you can, until then, you can hit us at LOIDetroit12@gmail.com. Right. And if anybody feeling generous, we definitely accept donations, right, to help move and push the ministry, right, to help brothers and sisters when they're in need, so on and so forth. Right. We don't spend the money on just, you know, jets and airplanes like some of your favorite pastors do. Right. So, hey, all praises, you know, even if you don't, just by a simple like, simple sharing the video, whatever, because we're trying to get this word out to the 12 tribes that scattered abroad, right? So that being said, hey, shalom, y'all brothers and sisters, have a blessed Shabbat. Hey, we got new moon coming up right around the corner, right? I believe Tuesday night, if I'm not mistaken, right? So, hey, shalom, y'all.
Monday night to Tuesday.
Monday night to Tuesday. Come. All right, come. Shalom.
Shalom.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad that an Israelite made it. The suckers gon' talk, the cowards gon' hate it. No matter what they say, I'ma go get it done. There's really no choice if you from where I'm from. Some people gon' be glad, others gon' be mad. You juicing off the hate and relapse, and you need rehab. I could show you things, all you see is the rings. Don't get blinded by ice, my brother. Pick a lane, learn a skill that'll get you very well paid. Investing in trades like a monopoly game. All you need is your brain and be willing to change. You'll have obstacles in life, but don't look at it strange. Adapt to your environments, get well rounded. In the laws of the Most High, stay well grounded. Things happen and life goes on. Let the haters hate while you stay strong.
Don't say I can't have it, 'cause that just makes me want it more. Number one status.
Number one.
I gotta do the day the time before. Don't be mad at me when I get it.
Don't be mad, bro.
You gon' be mad at me when I get it done.
I'ma get it done.
Don't be mad.
Do what you need to do, there's the king in you. But if talent don't work, it won't be useful. I remember the times of free school lunch. Whatever we didn't eat, moms took it for our brunch. Pops was working hard, now I know how it feels to have extra. He used to bring us meals on wheels. If you know, you know. Free things was a major help. That's why anytime I get, I always try to help. Those who are in need, who know are sincere. It makes me feel good when they smiling from ear to ear. Let them be mad, I'm bearing my cross. All my failures was a lesson, never counted a loss. Edomites make way, cause they know I'm a boss. Sitting in the Lambo, while they sit in the porch. And they wondering how, so they try to converse. The ones that smile in your face are usually the worst.